Yeah, what's up everybody? And we're about to dive into something pretty wild today. Have you ever wondered which countries are considered the rudest in the world? Today, we're counting down the top 9 rudest countries. Stick around to find out who takes the cake. All right, kicking things off at number 9. We've got France, the country known for its rich history, stunning architecture, and of course its delicious cuisine. Now, I know what you're thinking. France, the land of love, romance, and croissants. How could it possibly be on a list about rudeness? How could they possibly be considered rude? Well, let's just say the stereotype of the snooty French waiter exists for a reason. It's not just a myth, it's a cultural nuance. Apparently in France, you're expected to be super polite, speak some French, even if it's just bonjour, and basically know the unspoken rules of their culture. It's all about showing respect, otherwise you might just get that infamous French frown, the one that makes you feel like you've just committed a social faux pas. For example, did you know that in many Parisian restaurants, it's actually considered rude to ask for salt and pepper? Yes, really. They believe the chef has already seasoned the dish perfectly and you're basically insulting their skills by asking for more. It's a matter of pride and culinary respect. Crazy, right? But hey, that's France for you, a place where food is an art form and etiquette is taken seriously. But listen, don't let this deter you from visiting France. It's a beautiful country with so much to offer. Just brush up on your French etiquette before you go, and you'll be golden. A little effort goes a long way in making your trip enjoyable. And next up at number 8, we've got Russia. Now, Russia gets a bit of a bad rap when it comes to rudeness, but a lot of it comes down to cultural differences. Russians are known for being very direct and straightforward. They don't really do small talk and they value honesty above all else. So if you're used to a more sugar-coated communication style, you might find their bluntness a bit jarring. For example, if you ask a Russian for directions, don't expect a smile and a "Sure, honey, it's just 2 blocks that way." They're more likely to give you a deadpan stare and a "Da, go straight, then turn left." It's not that they're trying to be rude, it's just their way of being efficient and to the point. Coming in at number 7 is Germany, a country that has truly mastered the art of efficiency. Now, Germany is known for its efficiency, organization, and, let's be honest, its love of rules. From their punctual trains to their meticulous office environments, everything runs like clockwork. And sometimes that love of rules can come across as a little, well, rude. But it's not about being unfriendly. It's about keeping things running smoothly. Germans are all about direct communication. They value getting straight to the point without any unnecessary fluff. They say what they mean, and they mean what they say. This straightforwardness can be refreshing, but it can also be a bit jarring if you're not used to it. They're not trying to be mean. They just value clarity and honesty. In their eyes, it's better to be clear and direct than to leave room for misunderstandings. So, if you're used to a more indirect communication style, you might find Germans a bit abrupt. But remember, it's all about efficiency and getting things done. For example, if you're blocking someone's path in a German supermarket, don't be surprised if they just say "Entschuldigung," excuse me, without a trace of a smile. It's not personal, they just need to get by. They're not trying to be rude, they just want you to move. It's all part of their efficient way of life. But hey, at least you know where you stand with Germans. There's no guessing game. You always know what's expected. They're just going to tell you what's what, and then they're going to get on with their day. It's all about keeping things moving efficiently and effectively. The ugly Americans? All right, we're halfway through our list, and at number 6 we've got the United States. Yeah, you heard that right, the good old US of A. Now, before you guys start throwing shade in the comments, hear me out. Americans aren't necessarily rude in their own country, but when we travel abroad, well, let's just say we don't always put our best foot forward. One of the biggest complaints about American tourists is that we can be loud, obnoxious, and entitled. We're used to being the center of attention, and we often forget that other cultures have different customs and norms. For example, talking loudly on your cell phone on public transportation is a big no-no in many countries. China cultural customs or just plain rude? Coming in at number 5, we've got China. Now, China is an incredible country with a rich history and culture, but like any culture, There are certain customs and norms that might be considered rude by outsiders. For example, in China, it's considered rude to point with your index finger. It's seen as aggressive and disrespectful. Instead, you should use your whole hand or nod your head in the direction you want to indicate. Another thing that might surprise Westerners is that it's considered rude to refuse a gift. Even if you don't want it, it's seen as a sign of disrespect to the giver. So if someone offers you a gift, the polite thing to do is accept it graciously, even if you end up regifting it later. Italy, passionate or aggressive? Next up at number 4 is Italy. Now, Italy is known for its beautiful scenery, delicious food, and passionate people. But sometimes that passion can be mistaken for rudeness. Italians are very expressive, both verbally and non-verbally. They talk with their hands, they raise their voices, and they're not afraid to show their emotions. For example, if you're in a crowded market in Italy and you accidentally bump into someone, don't be surprised if they start yelling at you in Italian. It's not that they're trying to be mean, it's just their way of expressing their frustration. They'll probably calm down just as quickly as they got worked up. All right, coming in at number 3, we've got the United Kingdom. Now, the Brits are known for their dry wit, their love of tea, and their, shall we say, reserved nature. And sometimes that reserved nature can be mistaken for rudeness. Brits are not exactly known for being overly friendly or outgoing, especially to strangers. They tend to keep to themselves, and they're not big on small talk. For example, if you're on a crowded train in London, don't expect anyone to make eye contact with you, let alone start a conversation. It's just not done. And if you try to strike up a conversation with a stranger, you might get a blank stare or a grunt in response. At number 2, we have India. India is a vibrant and chaotic country with a rich culture and history. However, the hustle and bustle of Indian cities can be overwhelming for some travelers, and some cultural norms might be perceived as rude by those unfamiliar with them. One example is staring. In many Western cultures, staring at someone is considered rude. But in India, it's not uncommon for people to stare openly at others, especially if they are foreigners. While it might feel uncomfortable, it's generally not intended to be offensive. Another thing to be aware of is personal space. And finally, the number 1 rudest country in the world is Australia. I know, you're probably thinking, Australia, the land of sunshine, beaches and kangaroos? No way. But trust me on this one. It's not what you think. Australians have a reputation for being incredibly blunt and sarcastic. They don't sugarcoat things. They're the masters of the deadpan delivery, and they love a good ribbing. It's almost an art form. Now, here's the thing, Australians don't mean to be rude, it's just their way of being friendly. In fact, their bluntness is often a sign of affection. It's how they show they care. They're just not afraid to tell it like it is, even if it means making fun of you a little bit. It's all in good fun. It's all part of their laid-back, no-worries attitude. They don't take things too seriously. But if you're not used to their sense of humour, it can be easy to take their jokes the wrong way. It might seem harsh. For example, if you tell an Australian you're going for a swim in the ocean, they might say something like, "Oh yeah, good luck with the sharks, mate." It's their way of having a laugh. So there you have it, folks, the top 9 rudest countries in the world. Now remember, this list is all in good fun. Every culture has its quirks, and what might be considered rude in one country could be perfectly normal in another. The important thing is to be respectful, do your research, and try to learn a few basic phrases in the local language. Unlock the secrets of the world and make your dreams come true with our channel. We'll guide you through the most incredible destinations and share our expert advice for your next adventure. Don't miss out on any of our thrilling videos. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And when you're ready to embark on your own journey, use our affiliate link in the description to book your trip. By doing so, you'll not only save money, but also support our channel and help us continue bringing you the best travel content. Let's explore the world together.